Come on! Why is it taking so long for Liverpool to come back to me? Come on! Come on! Well, it's taking too long to get Liverpool to come back to me. I'm really nervous. I really want this job. Oh, it's ringing. It's ringing. Hello? Yes. Hi. Hi, Mr. Liverpool Chairman. Have I got the job? Have I got... You mean you have to wait and tune into this episode of Campus the Champions to find out? Well, you heard it from the Liverpool Chairman. Have I got the Liverpool job? What's going on, guys? My name is Adam. I am a Super Swan. And welcome to Club 5, episode 18 of the FM20 Campus to Champions. We left the last episode on a cliffhanger. Liverpool had offered us the job interview, and we were waiting to hear back what they had said. But before we go into whether or not we've been offered the job, I'm going to show you our transfer history so far with Lazio, because we are planning for next season with Lazio, and I've already said I'm happy to go a season 3 with Lazio, and we've already been very busy. We're only the 2nd of July. So the players we've got coming in, I think I'll show you the outs first of all. So we've let Nicky Dostar go to Southampton. He was a squad player. We got £10 million for him. But we did sell Hugo to Everton for £50 million. I thought, you know what? If you can offer me 50 mil for him, you can have him. And sure enough, they pulled up the money. So Hugo's gone to the Premier League. He's going to be playing for Everton next season. 50 million. I couldn't say no to that. And we've also let Matteo Orlandi, which he was a youth player. We don't really need to worry about him. However, there is another out that could be happening. If I show the inactive deals at the moment, we've got a few big bids of players that we're going to be letting go. So Cuenca's had a £53 million bid from China. So it's 35 mil up front, 11 mil after 50 games, and 6 mil over 2 years. So we're going to be getting big money for Cuenca. Laurie, who's on loan at Inter Milan, will be getting £20 million for him. And Monkiola has been bid 28 mil from China as well. So a lot of squad players are going to be going out the window, which is going to give Lazio a big amount of money to spend in the summer. So with Cuenca going out, we have put a bid in for Pedro Luis Fernandez from Atletico Madrid. He's a 3-star current ability defender, 4.5-star potential. He's actually better than Cuenca, but we're going to be only bidding 22, so he's going to be the replacement for Cuenca. So it's one Spaniard for another, as hopefully we'll be able to bring in Fernandez as his replacement. But as far as the signs we have brought in, I have managed to bring in a top draw striker from Marseille, Wilfried Thomas, for £58 million. He's a 4-star striker, 4.5-star potential, all green physicals, 17 dribbling, 16 first touch. He looks to be a very good advanced forward. He's had 198 appearances for Marseille, 102 goals. So I'm hoping that Wilfried Thomas is going to be the man to bang in the goals for Lazio next season. And we've also brought in some strength and depth in the midfield, because if Monchiola's on his way out, we need someone else to be a rotational option. And Esteban Cayelli is that man. He's a 3-star current ability, 4-star potential, 25-year-old Argentinian, and he's going to be the deep line playmaker with 17 first touch, 17 passing, 17 decisions, 16 vision. He's going to be pinging those balls from the midfield and getting the assist for hopefully our new striker. So those are the 2 signings, along with a new defender from Atletico. That's going to be 3. And then if we can get some more money in for the likes of Monciola, Cuenca, we'll get some money in for. We could be in for a summer transfer splash. But that will be if we were in charge of Lazio, because I can confirm that Liverpool have offered us the job. We're on our way, boys. We're going to Liverpool. We're going to the Premier League. They've offered me 135 grand a week, £200 million transfer budget, 6 million wage budget. It's a massive, massive offer. And just to give comparison, they've offered me 135 grand a week. I'm only on 26 or 28 grand at Lazio. So, yeah, I have every reason to take this job. I'm a Liverpool fan. They're offering me 100 grand more than I'm on at the moment. £200 million transfer budget. We're going to the Premier League, so we're going closer to home. There's no reason to not take this job. So we will be leaving Lazio in this episode, and in a weird way, I'm gutted to go, because I could have done a season 3 with Lazio, because the Serie A title did elude us, and I think season 1, we were top of the league for quite a number of time in season 1, but AC Milan did sort of pip us to the post right at the end, and we missed out. And then season 2, which we've just completed, we had a horrendous opening 2 months where we lost and drawn every single game, and then we brought it right back for the rest of the year. So apart from the first 2 months, we showed title-winning form with Lazio. We missed out again by finishing in 3rd place. So season 3, I would have gone for the title, tried to get in further the Champions League with Lazio. And with these new signings that are coming in, with Wilfred Thomas being a 4-star striker, we've got a lot of players that we're going to be getting big money for. We have got the chance and the funds to bring in some more 4-star current ability players to really lift Lazio to the top of Serie A. And I'm going to be watching from afar to see if Lazio do win the league this year, because they've got the squad to do so. We'll add players to our former player shortlist as we go along, but you know, we've got the likes of Juninho, Bedini, Requena, Granelli. Brunami is going to have a lot of potential. We've got Wilfred Thomas has just come in. We're building a young squad that's only going to get better. So it's going to be very sad to leave Lazio. There's a few players in there I'm 100% going to be adding to the former players shortlist. But I think it's about time we start negotiations with Liverpool to try and see if we can take over as Liverpool boss. They're offering me 135 grand a week. Do you want to push it to 150? No, 135, 140 maybe. No, they want to give me 135, but they are giving me a 3-year deal now. And plus, if I win the Champions League, which is the goal of this save, they will pay me 500 grand, close enough. So I'm going to finalise the deal. And here we go, boys. Club 6 on our way. It's the team I do support alongside Swansea City, and we are going to be in charge of Liverpool at Club 6, a 5-star team, 135 grand a week, and it's been 10 years since we started at Swansea Uni. So there we go, guys. Lazio have had 2.2 mil, 5-star team, 2nd place in the league predicted. You know, we're at Anfield. Liverpool are a well-known club. I don't need to tell you how successful they've been. They've won the Champions League 6 times. They've won the Premier League 3 times in this save alone. So they've broken their Premier League curse. They've won it 2022, 23 and 28. And I'm telling you now, this is going to be... I think Liverpool's going to be the club we win the Champions League with. They already play 3 at the back. The formation's already there. We can bring our tactics over from Lazio. It's all happening. I'm very, very excited to get going here at Liverpool. We're going to have so much money to spend. We can sort of form the squad around what we're doing. So before we have a look at all the Liverpool news articles, we are going to add players to our former players shortlist at Lazio, as we always do when we move clubs. So we can pick up to 5 players to put on that shortlist. So I'm 100% going to put Juninho on that shortlist. He was a player we brought in from Brazil in our first season. He's grown leaps and bounds, and he's already a 4-star current ability player. In fact, Liverpool have already scouted him, and he's just as good as the defenders we have. Might try and bring him in. We might even try and bring him in. So I'm going to add him to the former players shortlist. Who else are we going to add? Rodrigo Andres, I'm going to add him as well. We only had him for 1 year, but he really did make a massive impact into our team. So I'm going to add him into the former players shortlist. We'll keep a track of Andres and how he gets on. Who else have we got? Who do we want to add? Do I add Dougalau? He had a very good first season, but he really tailed off towards the end. I will add Dougalau. You know, he was very good in his first season. I will add him in. Anybody else I want to add? Anybody sticking out to me in this squad? We can choose a couple more players. So who was someone that stuck out in this team? Let's say Pozek was very good in goal. Yeah, he was good. Zagadou. I'll add Zagadou. Zagadou was a good defender. We'll add him to former players. And then we had Requena. I think I'll add Requena as well. He was a very good midfielder. Probably the best midfielder, and he was the in-form player at the club since we were there. So we'll certainly add Requena into the mix as well. And I think that's as much as I'd really like to add at this moment in time. So we will miss Lazio. I'll be looking on soon to see how they get on in Serie A. So now, let's have a look at that former players shortlist. So if we go on to here, if we go on to the former players, we've got 25 players. I already know some players have dropped off. You likes of Cameron Archer's dropped off. Mark Helm has dropped off as well. And if you don't know who Mark Helm is, you need to go all the way back to Swansea Uni, Club 1, to see how he's getting on. But we'll have a look at some of these players. So, 2 free agents, Dean Rooney and Bill Lewis. We had them both at Glentoran, and Bill Lewis we had at Swansea Uni. So it'll be interesting to see whether Dean Rooney does pick up a new club. We had him at Glentoran, he stuck it out at Larne, but he's been surplus to requirements and been released. The same for Bill Lewis, the 7'5" tank Bill Lewis, who we converted to a centre-back. He could still do a job. Look, 17 jump-in reach, 10 head-in. He's not that bad. He only scored 10 goals in 200 appearances, but Bill Lewis could do a job for a lower league side. Marley Bishop Wisdom, he's still at Swansea Uni, 32 years old. He was our main man in the first season. Still kicking around at Swansea Uni. Has he been in the squad though? No, he hasn't. He hasn't played a game for about 6 years. But he's still kicking about. You know, obviously, still doing his degree in Swansea Uni. We've got Ryan Alabusu. He is wanted by a couple of Welsh Premier League sides. One of our sort of Premier League trialists who we managed to sign. He's been at Swansea Uni ever since we signed him in the second season. Well, our first season in the Welsh Premier League. And he has been a mainstay in that side ever since. Not very good average rating, 6.5 last season. But it's good to know that, you know, a few Premier League trialists stuck it out at Swansea Uni. It is half time in the video. Thank you for reaching this far. YouTube advises me that over 2/3 of watchers are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, go drop a subscription down there and help support the channel. It'll be very much appreciated. And if you're already subscribed, thank you very much as always. So I'll let you carry on with the rest of the video. Hopefully you are enjoying so far. Jaden Bennett, another man we had at Swansea Uni. He's gone to Stevenage. So he has now left Swansea Uni. He's playing for Stevenage, which they are in the Vanarama National. So when did he move? This season. So he stuck it out of Swansea Uni again, another player that we got in our first year. And he stuck it out right up until the current year. So Jaden Bennett finally left Swansea Uni at 28 to go play for Stevenage in the Vanarama National. Levi Lang, who left for Cambridge, is on the transfer list. So he's been at Cambridge United since he left us at Swansea Uni, and now apparently he is surplus to requirements. He's been a regular in their side ever since. And even last season he played 13 games, so a rotational option, but he did only get a 6.45, which doesn't really fill me with confidence that... So he's a League 2 calibre player, Levi Lang. He could get a job there. We've got Sean Banks. He went to Larne, so he was a player that we had at Glentoran. And as most Northern Ireland players do, if they're any good, they go to Larne, which Dean Rooney went to Larne. Sean Banks has gone to Larne. He's been there 3 seasons now after being paid for 150 grand almost. So Sean Banks still kicking around in the Danks Bank Premiership. Leighton Stewart, he's at Gillingham. I don't think he was at Gillingham when we last checked up on him. So he was a striker we had at Swansea Uni for the second season. I think we only had him 6 months, but he scored 13 goals in 22 appearances, and he immediately jumped ship to League 2. But I think he's found his level. He is a League 2 sort of striker, and he scored only 3 goals for Gillingham, which isn't the best of records for a striker. But Leighton Stewart, he is a League 2 calibre striker. And now we're getting into sort of AIK territory. So Club 3 AIK, William Tunnell, he's gone to Rosenborg. So he's left AIK to go to Rosenborg. When did he go there? So he was on loan last season, and he joined permanently this season. Only 2 goals, and I don't know what's gone on with William Tunnell, because when we had him, he was scoring 13 goals. But the goals have really dried up for William Tunnell. So sadly, he's only scored 2 goals whilst he's been at Rosenborg, which, for a striker, again, not the best of records. But Eric Ahlstrand, he's still at AIK. He was the captain, I think, when we had him at AIK. But he's still going strong, 27 years old. He's a Sweden international now, and he's been a first-team player ever since. I think he was at AIK before we arrived, but he's been loyal to the club, and he's sticking in the midfield. Mabrakna, we sort of had him at AIK. We brought him in. He went on loan. We even had him at PSV for 1 season, but I think he found his level. But he's now gone to Greece. He's now playing in the Super League as AEK. So yeah, we had him here. We paid 2.2 mil for him. He then went to Bordeaux. We loaned him for a couple of seasons. Well, 1 season we loaned him at PSV. He didn't really catch on, but he's been at AEK since then, and he's done alright. 9 goals in his first season, 5 goals in his second year. So Mabrakna looks to have found his calling in the Greek Super League. Of course, we've got Glenn Green. We all know about Glenn Green. I might even try and bring him with me to Liverpool if I can. Niels Froling, he's gone to Montpellier. So he was our left winger at AIK. So clearly they've seen his potential. And he moved there for 750 grand. Playing in Ligue 2 last year. 7 goals, so decent return. He's going to be now playing in the French top division next season. So it's nice to see a former player sort of go up in the world and play in one of the top leagues in the French Ligue 1. We've got Nathaniel Ariel. He went to Chelsea. We even had him on loan at Lazio for 1 season. Did he get any games at Chelsea last year? Let's have a look. 11 league games. So it looks like Chelsea are now starting to see his potential. And I think he's going to be a first choice right back for them. Very good stats. One of our first ever wonder kids we found when we were at AIK. AIK? Yes. AIK, yes. It was Sweden we had him. I think he was the first wonder kid we managed to sign. Ritsu Dewan. He's at Chelsea on the transfer list. It's a shame how it turned out for Chelsea. Because at PSV, he was a brilliant player. We sold him for 43 million. I think Chelsea have realised that we kind of ripped them off for 43 mil. So sadly, Ritsu Dewan hasn't done very well at Chelsea. I think he could be on his way out the door pretty quickly, which is a shame of a player of his calibre. We've got Van Drogelen at PSV, the centre-back. He's still there. He's got a cap for Holland now. How has he got on since we left? So yeah, again, 7.05 and a 7.06 average rating. Very, very good at PSV. Van Drogelen, he was a beast at the back. Who else have we got? Rodrigo Andres and Dougalau we've just added. Hadji, how's he got on? He's still at PSV. Or the inside forward on the left-hand side there. How's he got on the last couple of seasons? 7.16, 7.20. Again, a very solid player. Looks to be good at PSV. Now we get to the big boy players. We've got Alisson Klaus for PSV, the Brazilian wonder kid in the midfield. He's only 20 years old. It's crazy how young he was when we had him, when we first signed him. He's still at PSV with £37 million. If we look at his last season, only 1 goal, 3 assists. So a little bit disappointing because he was a 7.38 in the first season we had him at PSV. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on him because, you know, he's a deep line playmaker. Signed him at PSV. Might try and see if I can bring him to Liverpool with me. Then we've got Zagadou. Hermoso's gone to Watford. So the goalie we had at PSV, he's gone to Watford now. So he's in the Premier League this season. When did he move? So we have a look. So this season for £59 million. So PSV made a massive profit on him. We signed him when we were there. And he's been their number one ever since. And they made a massive profit, £59 million, as Hermoso is the star player at Watford. So we'll be going up against him this season as well. And we've got Juninho and Buchenhoren at Real Madrid. Buchenhoren has stepped up in the world. He is now a Real Madrid striker. Wow, look at that. So he's gone up in the world as well. And they signed him for a free transfer. How did you let that happen? PSV, you could have made loads of money. But Mikel Buchenhoren, the main striker we had at PSV, is now a Real Madrid striker. Wow. See, this is why I like to keep this former players shortlist, just to see how everyone's getting on and where they all end up. So it's nice to keep a tabs on our former players. So yeah, there we go, guys. And I'm sure there's players that have dropped off. We'll have to go through the records and see who has dropped off. I know Leighton Stewart has, and I know Mark Helm has. I think at the moment those are the only two that have dropped off. But that is where our former players are currently at. So if we look at the Liverpool squad, well, if we look at Liverpool, this is it, my friends. We are at Liverpool Club 6. And then we'll have a quick look at the squad. We'll have a quick look, see what we got to work with here. So if we look at, look at that. Look at that squad. Look at those 5-star players we've got. We got a player with 96 million. This is going to be very good. Let's have a look. Granit Krasny... Oh, Christ, how do we say his name? Krasniqi. He's an advanced forward. Amazing physicals, amazing technicals. He's a striker. You know, he scored 27 goals in 48 appearances. Yeah, I think he'll be leading the line for us going into the new year. So he's going to be our top striker. 5-star player already. And he's only 22 years old. We've got Promise Chidi, 27 years old. He's a left winger. 5-star potential. Amazing stats. £96 million he's worth. Another fantastic player. We've got Jadon Sancho. 29-year-old Jadon Sancho. He can play both wings. We know about him. So he's a 5-star player as well. 20 agility. 17s across the mentals. Another very good player. So we've got a good lot of players, really. If we have a look at the age, I'd say we've got quite a young squad, really. If you look at all these, we're all under the age of 25, which is all these players here. So we've got a lot of good players to work with here. And I'm very excited to get started. So there we go, guys. That is Liverpool. I can see we're already overspending on the wages, so I think we might have to do some work cutting the wage budget a bit. But we have arrived at Club 6. It's the biggest club we've been at so far, Liverpool. And we will go next time with Club 6, Episode 1. And we're in the Club World Championship, so we're going to be getting started very quickly at Liverpool because we are going up against Chelsea in the Club World Cup. So no time to waste. We're going to get started, and I will see you next time at Club 6, Episode 1, Liverpool. But leave a like if you enjoy, guys. Subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager 2020 content. We will be uploading Campus to Champions every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 6 PM BST. And tune in next time as we say goodbye to Lazio. Well, we've already said goodbye, but we are going to start with Club 6, Liverpool in the Premier League. And I think this is going to be the club we win the Champions League with. Thank you very much for watching.